Welcome back to the Hustler Circle, 3 Minds, 1 Mission. This is episode 17, and we have another special guest on our episode today. It's, I guess, your background and coined as Mr. Hypeman, but it's Giano Pace or Giano Hypeman Pace. We'll link his socials in the description below. Giano has been in the real estate space, selling entrepreneurial components for years. Actually was on the road a lot, helping folks kind of create the ability to be a little bit more comfortable outside of their skin, be able to sell, be able to position themselves better with clients. And I'm really, really excited to have you here because I know you've known Dimitri since you were in high school, practically. But it's really good to have a different perspective on the show, especially from the lens of someone who's very high-minded, but also energetic. And it's going to give folks who are watching this for the first time the ability to learn from someone like yourself. So first and foremost, thank you for coming.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. That's a great intro. I appreciate the hype from you. I love it.
Of course. I'll be your hype man today. But if it's the first time you're watching this episode, please hit the like and subscribe button and then share this with whoever you think is going to enjoy it. And we're going to jump right in. So, Giano, look, we normally start our conversation just trying to understand like where your journey began, right? Where you came from, also like how you got into the business that you're in right now and how you've expanded. So let's start a little bit with like, first and foremost, how do you guys know each other? I know I mentioned high school, but you guys have done high school, have worked since high school together, but have also maintained a lot of contact. It's always cool for folks to understand like how this relationship got started, and we'll go a little bit into your business and background.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'll definitely be the first one to speak with that and with gratitude. Since high school, we knew each other. Obviously, after high school, everybody goes their own separate ways, does their own thing. But, we got connected recently through, flag football, some years back before COVID. And, man, since then, we've been hitting it off. I've been able to see him, kind of start, his company, start his projects and, kind of see the fulfillment of everything that he's been doing now. It's pretty crazy, man, to see. And, just to kind of have him, too, as a big advisor for me, right? A friend, but a mentor, too, somebody that has – that top-notch experience that we need to, be guided with sometimes and be, it's very helpful in our lives. So, he's one of those friends that was there then and now, and it's going to continue with me. So we've known each other for a while, man.
That's awesome. And I know you've since, founded GTH Enterprises and Tabi en Casa. We'd love to understand a little bit more about like what was the inception of those ideas and how you've helped your clients. So talk to me a little bit about both of those businesses and like what you do.
Of course, yeah, no, that's a great question. So during COVID, obviously, everybody kind of had to learn how to do things different, right? Learn how to adapt differently, sell differently, even connect and build relationships differently, right? And you couldn't really go out. Everybody was scared. So, I stepped into, the field of just more helping people through a virtual side, right? Through Zoom calls, through mentorship communities, more of the finance and the crypto world, right? That's where I kind of, got my foot in the door to open up GTH Enterprise. It actually stands for Giano the Hype Man. Right? Okay. GTH, Giano the Hype Man. So, at that time, I was around some partners doing pretty good things, obviously, Mill Mentor being one of them. And, I just kind of had that mindset of, this is who I am, right? This is what I'm about. I like to think of it as, we're all walking business owners, right? Especially this guy, he's a crazy marketer. But we're all walking business owners. And my biggest attribute and blessing is my energy, right? So I'm a walking energetic business owner. So what better name to have than, GTH? Yeah, and, that's me. I mean, sometimes we'll go in places, it's not Giano, it's the Hypeman's here. The Hypeman's coming. It's just that tagline. It's not, and I say it humbly, like within my group and my peoples, but it's that name that kind of goes with me. So
that's awesome.
And then the newer company, Tabi en Casa, that's more, kind of be a little under the lines. That's more driven towards just funnel more real estate deals. Have another company, tax purposes. But, you want to have something that deals with your industry hand in hand and kind of have a replication of a name on it. So I kind of went the Spanish route, better for coding, right? Better for banking purposes, right? All those things that, you can learn from this guy right here. But that's it, man. But they all deal with consulting at the end of the day, helping people, training, development. And the best thing is real estate and sales.
That's awesome because I think, folks watching this that can take some nuggets out of you today, the sales education component, the consulting approach that you have with your clients specifically and trying to help them either better themselves and how they position their business or themselves. Because a lot of it, and as you know it, like, yeah, people know you now, and when you're coming, it's like, oh, the hype man's coming. And it's not from a perspective of like, you've coined that yourself. Like you are energetic.
100%.
And like when you walk into a room, there are two types of people, right? There are the people who, when they walk into a room, folks gravitate towards them because of what they do, how they present themselves, how they approach it. And then there's the folks who don't. And I'm like, the difference is
100%.
it could be
100%.
energy could be one of those things, but energy coupled with experience and an ability to talk and have a communication and a conversation with someone are two skill sets that work hand in hand.
100%.
Like D, for example, when he's on, like, and you can hear him. Like if you sit in the sofa right outside his office, you can hear him on sales calls. He's energetic on that call.
Absolutely.
And he hangs up the call and then he's himself again.
That's it.
But because he gives 100% to that client. That client feels like they literally paid him $10,000 for that 15-minute call.
Perfect example.
And that's the approach that I think a lot of folks have to take out from this conversation is, and I would love to tap into your perspective. It's like, how do you couple the high energy with the communication skills? Because I think some of them can be a deterrent to each other. Because I'm high energy. So like I wake up at 6:30 in the morning without an alarm and I'm legitimately ready to go. Some people need to like get out of their bed, wash their face. I'm legitimately out of the bed and I can run through a wall like the Kool-Aid man.
Same,
I'm old.
same.
The Kool-Aid man ran through walls.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit like how you meld both together to drive like an effective like sales strategy for people and helping folks kind of like uncover that part of their experience.
Yeah, honestly, Chris, I love that question, man. Really. And he knows too. Obviously, born the same day, right? We're both Geminis. We're gems. You already know how it goes. But it's knowing where and how to manage and put that energy to something that is beneficial for you or the client or the prospect or the referral. So I just kind of wanted to piggyback out there. But yeah, and you learn that through your experience and your careers of, when you step into helping people, how's their tone? How do they sound? Are you just gonna come out like some guy like nowadays, that's good for the players like us, or people that are in that environment and that energy. But for somebody that's just regularly trying to sell their home, they're not gonna want to have the hype man screaming in their ear, So it's just managing your energy, learning it, understanding tonality, behaviors, feelings, and sales really teaches people that like. A lot of people really underestimate and undermine sales, and that really taught me how to manage my energy, understanding customer behaviors, customer feelings, managing your emotions, dealing with POS, customers, their feelings. So all those things help you check yourself at the same time. Hopefully you're self-critiquing yourself and you're doing what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
To do those things and grow. But that will help you manage and to put the energy when it matters, to be high or low on the call, to be when to be not excited. And it's really just being professional too. Energy is not just energy. It's tonality, right? It's how you go and walk in a room, right? I want people to gravitate to me. I want to say hi to everybody when I walk in the room. Hey, how are you? How you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up? I'm Latin. I'm European,
I want to hug everybody.
What's up? Everybody. Like, what, let's go. I want to bring that awareness of energy up. I want people to feel good, man. And I want them to know that the high man's coming in regards to good things, not some loud person, which is good. That, and that's a persona I think that follows me. And that's what's really helped me kind of manage that energy and put it in the right places. And when you find. You got to embrace a lot of suck and you got to go through things that you don't like and love to do those things before you can get to do what you love and build that passion. We were literally just talking about that. But that helps you a lot too, because you're not always excited every day. You don't always want to wake up, but you got to put in that face, that grit, that grind, and that energy behind, that phone call to inspire that homeowner, that next consultant, that next referral, that next person that wants to change their life. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
It has to be there, and you got to feel it.
And a lot of folks, and you'll jump in here on this one as well, is like buying a home, as much as it sounds like a normal stance in your life. Oh yeah, you get old, you buy a house. It's such an enduring process.
It is.
Yeah. And I'm like, folks like yourself remove a lot of like with the walls that humans naturally put up, like objections, right? Like you go and put in a bid for a house and there's 67 bids and you're like, fuck, I'm not gonna get this. And then you just keep folks motivated. And I understand it because I've bought multiple properties in my life, but like every time I do it, I feel like, yes, I know how to do it, but I also get easily as frustrated. And I don't, because it's just like, it's such a difficult process. The banks make it hard, especially when you have all the qualifications. They still find something to make you go and be like, the fuck are they asking for this?
They do.
And I'm like, and the consumer is the one that bears a lot of the frustration. And you are one of those folks that help kind of like quell those concerns and keep people level headed, because the moment they start getting down, then they move away from that perspective of buying the home. Some folks get turned off completely. And they're like, fuck this, I'm just going to rent the rest of my life because it's like, I put 70,000 offers on 80,000 homes and I'm like, I haven't gotten one yet.
It gets mind boggling. It does. And, you know, from the seller's perspective, you know, we take that energy and I want it. You know, I want that energy. I want to take that, not negative energy, but that concerned energy, that worried energy. Let me put it on my plate, right? Let me deal with that. Let me handle that. What's your pinpoint? What's the need behind the need, right?
Yeah.
Why are you selling your house? What do you need in that, right?
Yeah.
There are so many different questions of, oh, what do you want to list it at?
Yeah.
Go deeper.
Yeah.
Right? Analyze, observe. You know, goes back to hearing them, hearing the tonality, you know, really seeing what they want. What's the purpose of it? Do they got family?
Yeah.
Somebody passed away? Divorce? There are so many factors that you really have to be a mini therapist, psychologist.
Yeah.
He knows what's up. He knows, right?
Yeah.
Every day on the phone with that person, because that's what they need. That's what they're looking for. But that's what's going to separate me
From
and
everybody.
the others that are just part-time real estate agents, right?
Yeah.
Not doing much, only doing one sale a year, okay? And then when they want to work, they're going to go, nah, dude,
Yeah.
I got 10 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And you can tell the difference though. Like I'm telling you, like I bought both properties without being here. I was in Jersey, in my property in Jersey, and the real estate agent is the one that made the biggest difference. Because like I trusted that person with the purchasing the home on my behalf. Literally videos were set. I'm like, that's a hard decision to make because videos don't justify. Like you walk in here, you're like, wow, this place
Took
is
you
cool.
to the next level.
Like I'm like, they went outside of their normal process to make it comfortable. And I feel like D talks about this all the time. Like that customer engagement is what separates you from everybody else. And that's, you know, kind of like what I want to jump into next. And D, maybe you can like tap into this one, is like that relationship. Anybody like, and it's just not me to bash, you know, realtor. Anybody can be a realtor, right? But no one can be an excellent realtor. And I say that, I'm saying because everybody, that skill set is continuously built. It's brick by brick. And I see it all the time. I have a bunch of friends of mine who are realtors.
So true.
And people don't realize I can go into MLS myself and see how many houses they sold. And they're like, yeah, bro, here are all the properties.
Yeah.
I go in, 0 houses sold in the last 12 months because you're doing this shit part-time.
Yeah, terrible.
Like either you're going to commit to it and you do the work, or you don't. And when you do the work, you make that client feel like they're buying a $16 million property, because for what is worth, that is $16 million
and all their
worth
needs are
in
taken
their
care
mind.
of. Yeah, 100%.
And, I'm
you're
like,
giving
you
them
don't,
that
and you don't treat
experience.
people different based on what they're buying.
Customer experience, 5-star experience. People forget about that.
Yeah. No, and the thing is too, is that people think that things stop after you reach a certain milestone. Like that's why you have attorneys that are paid and you have attorneys who are bums that can barely even make ends meet. Why? Because for the most part, they think because they got a diploma that that's where it stops. And that's why you have dentists that are paid and some that are not so paid. And the same thing holds true with anybody that got any type of certification, real estate, mortgage broker. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't stop after you get the accreditation. You have to have what? The real world experience. And that means what? Putting yourself in a vulnerable position, putting yourself in a place where like, you don't know if you're going to win or you're going to lose, but you're going to definitely get that real time experience.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And if you're smart, you'll grab that and you'll use it as a seed of opportunity to grow and get better moving forward, right? So it's just like, I think that for me is what separates. And that's the reason why, like we discussed outside, 90% of realtors sell only one house a year.
Which is crazy.
But it's true. And then the other part of it too, and the lack of continued education is like, I honestly don't even care about this next statement because it is what it is. Like most of these realtors don't know what the fuck they're talking about as it pertains to credit.
Facts.
And how are you running people's credit and being
Willingly.
involved in a very sensitive thing like someone's credit profile, their personal finances, and like you don't even know the difference between FICO and Vantage.
Oh, it's so true, man. Oh yeah, here, just send me your credit report.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's just like that to me.
true.
It's better for me because that's one less person I have to worry about as a worthy adversary.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So it's like, thank you for not taking the extra initiative like I did. Now the client's gonna pay me.
Yeah.
100%.
And now they're gonna and it's happened a few times. Like a realtor has handed us clients, and their experience with us was so great they actually forgot about the realtor. Actually, you know what? Let's go deeper than that. When I came back from Philadelphia, when we left the NFC Championship game, some weird number calls me. Hey, Dimitri, how's it going? What's up? No, I was in a group chat with you. 2 months ago, I sent you guys a client, and you guys did a sweep for him, and the client's not answering my phone calls. I was like, okay. So the client they paid us to do something, and then you're telling me that they didn't. He's like, no, because let me tell you different. My grandmother died, and I had to go to Peru. And I wasn't able to take phone calls because I was dealing, family first, family matters first.
Oh my God.
I go, yes.
If it does, you'll pick up the phone.
So I'm in the airport. I'm like, okay. And he goes, no, because their credit score is good now, but they're not answering my call. And they signed an agreement that they have to buy the house with me. I go, okay. So I'm like, wondering, like, where's Buddy going? Like, I'm like, where is he going? Oh, can you call them and tell them that I've been calling them?
Bro, you call them. You're the
I go, brother, you don't have me like partially or a little bit. You have me all the way fucked up. If you think I'm gonna call someone to keep tabs because you couldn't handle your business, like, guess what, bro? Everybody has personal things going on.
Let's go.
Everybody does. But if I start giving you my personal stuff, then I am directly misrepresenting my whole business model, which is separating your personal and your business finances. So I'm not gonna do that on a financial level. I'm not gonna do it on an emotional level. Keep the two things separate. And if that is too high level for anyone, don't involve me in your stuff. At the very least. And it's just like,
boom.
It's just like, bro, it's that's the way it's gotta be, because what happens next? I tell Buddy, yeah, don't worry. I call the client tries me, now I'm on tilt. And then for what? To appease someone else because you didn't want to answer the phone?
No, yeah.
You lost the business.
That's terrible.
I'm not gonna call you if I lose a client. So don't call me if you lose a client.
No, I
you know,
agree.
And
I agree.
That's the way it has to be,
That
bro.
part-time effort.
And you gotta have that aggression. You gotta have that hunger day in and day out if you really want to scale in this country, because this country will give you the allowance and the availability to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, millions of dollars per year,
100%.
tens of millions of dollars. But
100%.
what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yep.
What are you willing to put on the side to get to where you want to get to? And that's the reason why, bro. Like, that's why I fuck with you so heavy, because you bring the gratitude to people. You're not.
you have
they
to.
don't have to wonder. The energy that you have as a hype man or whatever you want to call it,
Be blessed.
it's only gratitude. That's
It
all
is.
it is. And if you express gratitude at a very high level, it comes off at a very high frequency.
100%. Well fucking said. I love it. God damn, mic drop, baby. Let's go.
But it's the same thing, and I'm like, you focus on ensuring that you're providing the right service so that client of yours actually wants to continue working. And the biggest, the most power move that you can have with any relationship with your client is that you service them so well that they send you clients.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have a referral machine.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're not paying any dollar to any advertising anywhere because you're getting 15, 20 clients through word of mouth.
Your phone starts ringing.
And I'm like,
versus
and then
you
all of a
picking up the
sudden
phone.
you're gonna be like, bro, you make decisions. I don't have time. I don't have enough capacity to take on 20 clients at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's your choice now. Versus
It is.
in the latter, it's like you're selling one house every 14 months.
Right, like the part-time
Like,
trying
you're
to
like,
find
please
20.
give
Yeah,
me,
no,
give
that's
me more work.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And it's crazy, but hey, it's the necessary evil to succeed in that market, but also succeed in general in any market in general. So let's talk a little bit about, and let's shift a little bit into the power of mindset, right? And the energy in business. So we chatted a little bit about like the frame of thinking, being intentful when you listen to folks and you're speaking and you're trying to find solutions. But tell me how like the mindset aspect is something that you focus on helping folks, either whether it is a client or a consulting client that you're helping kind of like in their sales entrepreneur endeavor. Give me a little bit of perspective, like how the mindset component has helped, not only you in business, but others that you kind of have consulted.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it starts with, the personal work, at home, when you're in that self-time, the personal development, personal growth. I think that's huge for your mindset, to kind of keep you sane, keep you in tune. But also just how to take on and just kind of manage everything that's happening sometimes in life or on the daily or on the phone call. You know, those are really important things that you got to have an emotionally intelligent, strong mindset and work at it every day, right? It's not something that it's a part-time thing. You got to work out your mindset. You got to, build that strength and put it to the test daily. Learn from the failures, make the changes when you fail or the lessons to improve. We were literally just talking about, what we learned, right? When we were in our 20s, we were so curious to see where we are now or what we did with it because we were growing our mindset. We kept feeding the beast and staying consistent. And believe it or not, at least, it's not a sex thing or not, but at least for us, man, those little wins, those little mindset wins in the privacy and in the private are huge, right? It keeps us going, okay? So mindset's everything. You change your mindset, you'll change your freaking life. And you got to stay working at it and feeding it. I think that is a huge component to, mind, body, soul, and spirit being aligned and having a good lifestyle and it reflecting into your business, your personal life, whether that's journaling, writing, reading, doing the things that you love that, bring you that good, calmness to your mind, being by the water, whatever it is, do it to keep strengthening it and do it repetitively and consistently.
And I think the intent behind it has to be genuine, right? Yeah. You can't just I watch something on TikTok or on YouTube. Now all of a sudden I'm going to start getting into
some phony.
I'm waking up at 5 a.m. now because some guy said to do it, but you just do it, and then 3 days later you're back to staying in bed until 10. You get me? And I feel like that's the component that I'm
just the thing is you can't.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. You can't sometime around this. I didn't even look. The story I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't even tell you yesterday. So when you guys were doing the podcast and I was getting a haircut, when I'm getting a haircut, bro, one of the things that irks me the most, especially with all of the noise and the chatter in my head, speaking to clients all day, is I do appreciate my quiet time whenever I can get it. So I'm in the barbershop, and historically I don't like doing barbershop talk. I'm not on that because I'm too cooked. So this kid yesterday, he's getting cut, whatever, and he tells my barber, my barber knows who I am, my barber knows what I'm about, and he knows that I don't really talk on the credit stuff in the barbershop because I don't really have time for that. Mm-hmm. So this kid is talking, he's like, yeah, I do funding. And he goes, yeah, I help people get loans. And he goes, yeah, I get people loans at 1%. And he was saying some crazy stuff. And my barber goes,
oh, really?
He said something to the barber, and my barber goes, no, that's the guy right there for the credit. And the kid looks at me and goes, oh yeah, you do funding? I was like, yeah. And he goes, okay, what? I was like, what? And I go, look, bro, honestly, I've never heard of any banks, any creditors out there that hand any loans at 1%. So I don't know who you're getting funded, but please show me where. No, it's not. It's not that. It's that I'm thinking about doing funding. I'm like, bro, you're a sometime man. Shut up, man. I'm like, shut up, bro. He's like, no, that's what my fee would be. I'm like, bro, shut up, man. Get out of here.
My fee.
Yeah, you're not even paying your rent with that 1%.
I'm like, what product are you referencing, man?
Yeah.
It has to be at least $1 million. Bro, I'm like, shut up, man.
1% doesn't even mean anything.
After he's like, yo, can I get your number? I'm like, yeah, here's my number, bro. Shut up, man.
Call me. I'll
come work with me.
Yeah, come work with us, bro.
Come work with me, bro. I love it.
We'll put you on game.
I love it. Too funny, bro.
Well, it's that. It's the sometimes,
oh my God.
Try it for a little bit, but the intent, I think, is the most important part. And if you can create that consistency, it works its magic. So let's chat about, sales, right? and this is something that I know a lot of folks who watch our podcast.
That shit gets me hyped.
Are always they struggle with it. I'm going to tell you, there are two things in any business that is the hardest, and I'm not saying that anything else is devalued, it's just marketing and sales. Both of those things, either you know it or you don't, and when you don't, you can try to master it, but sometimes you're just not born to sell. That's it, period. So tell me a little bit about how sales and the component of sales has fostered, number one, obviously your businesses, but also the consulting aspect. I'm interested in the consulting side because I know folks are watching that potentially may be interested in getting some sales consulting.
Oh my God.
And that could be an opportunity for you to go shameless plug. And we usually don't do that, but it's the first time we have a sales consultant, on the show. And I gravitate towards that to help the viewers as well.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, just the word itself, gets me hyped. It's everything I'm about. It gives me my living, gives me my lifestyle. And for those of you out there that want to get into it, do it. take the risk, and this is why. Okay, if you're an introvert, it'll make you an extrovert. Okay, it'll teach you so many things. Okay, that you didn't even know about yourself. Okay, goes back to what I was saying before. In sales, you can learn how to communicate, how to build and talk with the correct business acumen and business vocabulary. Okay, know how to persuade a customer in the right ways.
Yeah.
To get them to where you need to be by selling your solution and your fucking product. Okay? You can't do that without knowing a sales technique or a sales skill set.
Yeah.
Okay? You learn people, you learn behaviors, you learn yourself, you really learn how to manage your emotions and your fucking behaviors.
Yep.
In any sales setting, retail, like face-to-face, when I worked at Apple, right?
Yeah.
Yo, you know how many smart, mean people come up in there demanding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's face to face. You better be quick. That ain't a phone call.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got to know your stuff, have the right terminology, right context to say what you need to say. You learn though so much on both sides.
Yeah.
That it really does help you in your life. People undermine sales, and it's such a bad image behind the fucking word, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sick of it. You want to know why? Because it changes people's lives. It gives you an amazing lifestyle, and it's an unlimited income potential in sales. No other industry is going to give you that except entrepreneurship, business ownership, and sales. Okay?
Yeah.
It can change your life. That's exactly why I love it. I've been doing this since I was 19. I recommend everybody freaking do it. And when you have a sales trainer and mentor that care,
Yeah.
forget about it. You're going to go to the fucking moon.
Yeah. No. I.
No, the thing is, a
100%.
lot of people don't have someone like that in their life. You know, like I don't need Giano because I have my brother and I have you. But a lot of people don't have that safety net or that fail safe or that person that's gonna like when you have a certain trajectory and you not knowing veer off the road.
Yeah.
You have him to do what? Signposting.
Yeah.
Hey, get your ass back on track. And these are the reasons why. You're a bum. You're lazy. You haven't gone to the gym. You know, like so when you have people like that. I think that's called a Dutch uncle. It's like when you have someone that gives you real
Great analogy.
feedback, right? So like,
Great analogy.
you know, again, some people don't like that style. I love it because it is what it is. You know, and then the thing is, he's not a slouch. He's in the gym at 6 a.m. every day. He's a responsible father. He's got a you know, healthy lifestyle. He's doing what he needs to do as a man, and he's doing it for his son as well. And it's like, damn, you know, like those are components that I look up to as well because I'm now on that journey. I'm just on a different timeline in the multiverse. But yeah, man, I agree with pretty much everything you said.
No, and I think sales, you know, and
It's the best, man.
from a perspective, look, I come from a big company experience. I almost 2 years now as an entrepreneur, but like all of my roles when I got out of college were operations and strategy because I can make anything work well.
I love it.
Literally.
Then in the last 10 years before I stopped, right, I was chief customer officer, was SVP, global customer success. So I worked for technology companies, and my job was the sales team would bring clients on trials to the platforms that I was responsible.
Yeah, and then
my team was the one who made sure that they see value, and then we sold them.
Yeah, my brother does that for
Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah.
So I did that for a bunch of companies, and I'm telling you, like, it is unlimited. Like I was pulling $1 million, I was pulling $900,000. And I have friends who are doctors that weren't even making as much as I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's not to show off. It's just the perspective of like, I put myself in the shoe of the customer and I just provided solutions. I wasn't convincing anybody to buy a product. They already are trying it. And if they showed any value, you jump on that. You jump on it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the customers will gravitate towards who provides them the best service. What we do and what any of us do, what these companies do, there's thousands of options.
Yeah.
There are.
Remember, but
There
and
are.
clients, the cost of switching is $0. But the cost of switching and training an entire organization or entire client, it takes time.
Yeah.
And when they make that decision, they make it why? Because of bad service. They don't leave companies, they don't leave people because the service, the offering, it doesn't make sense.
Facts.
It's because the people suck at delivering that offering.
100%.
And I told us my teams were super successful because of it. Because
So
of my,
well said,
they
bro.
always provided value. And it was like today we had someone, the other day we had someone on the podcast and they were saying, I'm like, oh, they started sending handwritten letters to clients. And I was like, I was laughing because I had freaking like, my team had, my last company had like 38,000 clients. and I would send during Christmas. I would write each CEO a handwritten letter.
Wow.
Imagine
That
like,
separates
obviously
yourself,
like
though, yeah.
my CEO was like, look, we're gonna have to automate this, and then you just sign
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But I'm like, but I would write them just thanking them for the business and wishing them happy holidays.
Of course.
And like, if whatever they need, they can always contact me. I'm like, I would get calls by the CEOs like,
that.
well, this is so nice. And I didn't do it for the call. I did it because it's just that extra effort.
It is.
Separates you from everybody else.
It
Going back
does.
to like your earlier comment.
It's true.
And that's what sales is. Sales is service and being mindful for that client. And then you provide a solution, bro. Everything.
It's
the
the
rest
details.
is history.
It's the it's the thing is, life is already tough as it is, you know. So we already have all the regularities that we're inundated with on a daily basis, and it's like it's nice to have someone just check in on you every now and then. Like you hear it. Sometimes I literally call my client just to talk shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Oh, okay. Did you see my credit? I was like, no, I was just checking in. Oh, okay. And then like you can feel their guard coming down, and they're like,
Is everything
they'll
okay?
chop it up
Did I
with me.
mess up my credit score?
Yeah,
they're all like,
yeah, because they know, like, hey, I'm not always gonna call you to bitch at you. I'm gonna call you sometimes just to check in, but like, there shouldn't be a discrepancy of like whether or not that temperament is here or there. It should just be the same across the board. It should just be like checking in on your people, whether they're your clients or your friends or whatever, just to see how you're doing. Because bro, it's just life is, like I said, it's tough as it is.
It is.
You know,
It is.
Agreed. And then so
Very well said.
let's shift a little bit into, and this is something that I ask everybody who comes on board is like, we have prided ourselves and we continue to enhance it. We have SOPs, so standard operating procedures, that we kind of like customers are onboarded a certain way. They go through the process a certain way, and then they get delivered the solution a certain way. And we kind of standardize. That doesn't mean like it can't be tweaked. It's tweaked all the time. So like for you, obviously you don't have 13 people working for you, but you still have like your process.
Of
and your
course,
standard. Like you know how you approach your clients. You always send a thank you, or you always do this, or after your call you recap, just making sure, hey, making sure I heard you correctly. This is what you're looking for. Blah blah blah. Like, how has the SOPs for you kind of like matured as you continue to scale in your business?
They're big. They're big. I think SOPs in general, CRMs, you can't run a business, I don't think, without them. I don't think any business can be sold without a customer relationship management platform.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, in your business. But I think the main thing to it helps you stay organized. Okay, like sales is 99% follow up, brother. I think we all know that.
yeah.
If you're not getting off the call and or taking notes on the call or inputting now, the
call
whole
didn't happen.
system works for you.
Yeah.
Put it in the CRM, right? Or obviously we have, and there's free ones. I use Trello, right?
Yeah.
It's a free CRM for one. That's for my own personal CRM that I put on my leads, winner closes, etc. But it alerts you. It can put a task, a date.
Everything.
That's the power of technology. But people are so fucking lazy to go just do that.
Well, they use the excuse that they don't. It's too complicated. How is it complicated?
It's really
literally,
not,
literally,
okay?
it has like a
No.
picture. It tells you step one. Do
It's,
this.
it's now, like, don't get me wrong, you have to guide people the right way, but like the way how you treat yourself and your habits and your curriculums and your, I call it DMO, daily method of operation, your IPA, income producing activities. If you're managing that and doing that the right way, using Google Calendar, iMessage, email, your CRM, and funneling your stuff the right way and teaching your people to do it, like, shout out to y'all's company, by the way. Okay, I don't know what camera I need to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, the follow-up, okay, for y'all is insane. The respect to get to something, for us to do something. When I was fixing my credit with him for already 2 years, right? On it, follow-up. How's your report? Sending me stuff, email, alerts. I want to know, do I have time to go ask somebody? No, but I want to be alerted about it.
Yeah.
So you have to train your team to follow up, to engage your customers. It goes back to exactly what he was just saying. He's doing that himself as a president owner, right? Imagine you train your team to do the same thing.
And I acclimate to like his energy. Like I'll send him voice notes like filled with profound, like, I fucking told you we were gonna get here. What's your fucking score now? Let's go. and where are we now? What's your score right now?
Bro, I'm
760.
I'm almost pushing 800. Yeah,
Almost 800. Where did you start? Where did you start?
449 exact.
Wow.
449. I'm not scared or embarrassed to say it. Call him up. He'll fix it. But you got to go through it. You got to listen. You got to
Yeah.
be coachable.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
on
and
that.
remember, ultimately, what D has mastered is the realization that you have to separate the sentiments, right? You get to those scores, regardless of how you got there, doesn't matter. It's math. And the same thing with funding.
Yeah.
Like when we get clients, like we just had a client that went to the bank today, legitimately 6 months ago, couldn't get approved for a Winn-Dixie
She had a
card.
bankruptcy. She had a
Terrible.
bankruptcy 6 months ago.
Couldn't get approved
a bankruptcy.
for a Winn-Dixie card. Doesn't even exist.
That is
Like,
terrible. Everybody gets approved.
yeah. But got approved for $25,000 the first card. And as we're speaking right now, just got a text and the second card got approved for $23,000. So just in one day,
Call them.
just
She
in
had a
one day,
bankruptcy.
$45K. The highest credit card she has is $9,000. So just in one bank, zero inquiries.
Call them.
Like,
and they're not even that expensive, y'all. Everybody thinks credit is expensive.
Yeah.
What's wrong with everybody?
I'm
It's
like-
not expensive to fix
Thing
your
is,
life,
they don't
bro.
understand that fixing something for in my opinion, a petty fee, it opens the door for like real money. Like you spend $500 to fix your credit to get $100,000 access to capital.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what level of math that is, but
That's-
it seems pretty straightforward to me. You know,
It's perfect.
But
And using debt to your power. And
Yeah.
and you learn through the ways.
you're learning shit along. Like,
Exactly.
what is your knowledge on credit compared to like a year and a half, 2 years ago?
Nothing. I
And
didn't.
it's probably helped your engagements with your
Oh my
potential
God.
sellers.
Bro, what's
and
up? The whip, the
Yeah.
car. Like I'm good. Like, and it's all debt in the good way. And it's all
Healthy.
paid off. It's all healthy. And we're already working on the next part. Like you learn so much. I had no idea. It's simple things too. Like people don't
Yeah.
know. Just pay your card 4 or 5 days before the due date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one little thing, boom. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't know what we don't know. I'm not stupid. I'm a very smart person. At least I like to think about it, especially street smart. I know he's the same way. But we don't know what we don't know. That's why you hire people to
No,
help and train
like
you.
what Chris said earlier, like the clients,
It's like, bro.
they'll tell me, hey, I want to let you know I ran my credit.
Yeah, they're afraid.
And like they'll hear me stop what I'm doing. All right. And then my legs are already shaking. All right, you ran your credit where?
Yeah.
What did you
Oh, I
do?
forgot to tell you.
I
I
told them,
was
and
thinking
look,
about
but
it.
if
They
they-
told me they weren't going to run the credit.
If they tell me, bro,
God.
I'm cool with it. I'm
No,
cool with it.
it's
If they
the
tell me,
ones
I'm
that
cool with
don't.
it.
I tell to coach me.
Yeah.
Bro, he told me, you got to commit. No applications for cards. No this, no that. I was
Brother,
like,
you
damn, bro,
you
2
and
years?
I, look, him and I on the football field, it's the same exact mentality.
Oh, yeah. He'll
There
tell
was
me what's
one
up.
time
Yeah.
where like something, I'm not gonna get into what happened because I don't remember the full details, but him and I were definitely not seeing eye to eye, and like this shit almost got to the next level because it's like, bro, like I don't give a fuck where we're at. I don't give a fuck who it is. Like on the other podcast, I told you we had a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
The guy kept running his credit. I told him on the phone, like, yo, bro, you run your credit one more time. I know you'll fuck me up,
Terrible.
but I'm telling you, I'm gonna try you. No, I'm sorry, D. That, and it's like, bro, sometimes you have to go there.
yeah,
So it's
you
like
do.
they know that you're invested
love
in
it.
this shit
I
too,
love it.
and if
So
they
true.
know that, they're gonna match that energy.
Very
And
true.
then now, whenever the topic of credit comes up, who do you think's names comes up as well?
100%.
Easy.
Yeah, no, and it's
100%.
And believe it or not, like the world is smaller than you think. So
Yeah.
like what you give back to the community, whether it's your clients or folks who call you for your advice, it's gonna come back to you 100%.
Yeah.
So
Who
like,
doesn't want to get better and build their credit and learn at the same time? Like, what the?
Yeah, and I'm like, and also like we sometimes have helped clients that never became a client.
Yeah.
Right? They took some nugget from us, and we're happy for that too because they'll come back in the future.
Well, and I just love how y'all, like now, everybody thinks credit's the new thing, right? Credit's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Been in the game a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really was there at the starting stages.
No, you saw when
He
we were
did
vape
me a
shop.
favor. Trust
Yeah.
me. I never forget. We couldn't even park in that damn office, bro.
Yeah.
The first one, right? On Flagler.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you couldn't.
Right, bro.
Your car was almost
Bro.
rear-ended every time you went into the
Bro,
shopping center.
like where everybody was getting trained at the same table, making the calls at the same table.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's right.
Brother, like, okay,
That's right.
so they've been in the game. Okay, so these other wanksters and wanks and losers that are out here doing this or that 1%, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I know.
ultimately, like the good thing about what we do in the space that we're in is that remember everybody doesn't fuck with everybody, right? So like
Yeah,
there's I think the last stat was like 126 million small businesses in the United States, and not all of them are gonna fuck with us,
No.
right? Like, but that's why he has a certain following. I have a certain following. Alex
Facts.
has a following. And then the folks who come on the show will bring us clients. And like ultimately, that's not the goal of this. The goal is to educate. But what I'm trying to say with that statement is, it's fine for others to have their own style. I'm like, but folks will learn through that style if it works or not, right? And that's I'm not
100%.
here. I'm never here to be like, oh, these people suck. I'm like, because honestly, to be honest with you, to be honest with you, like I just don't have the time to care. Like, and I know because we've won a bunch of business of people who paid people $15,000 to get them funded, and they gotten them $0,
Yeah.
and they can't do a chargeback because they signed a contract. And I'm like, come on, guys, like do the chargeback. I'll show you. How to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just the mindset that we're at. We're like, I'm not here to screw anybody else, but I'm like, I'm here. Like, I'm not gonna allow our clients or potential clients to be screwed.
Oh no, you guys figure it out.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Like there is no like, bro. I know when I was getting mail every week, I'm like, oh, these mother truckers are hustling my report right now,
Blowing up the bureaus.
blowing up
Blowing
these
up the
bureaus.
creditors.
Yo, that's what
Get
it's
it done.
for.
Yeah, you get it done. And that's the thing. I'm like, it's a bureaucracy, right? So like you got to break through the bureaucracy by what? Inundating them with calls.
Yeah,
Inundating
paperwork.
them with paperwork.
Verify this, verify that,
and
validate this.
That's what big businesses like hate. Like they have the process, but when you use the process, like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. We have to hire more people. Guess what they do? They look at all the paperwork, like, all right, where to delete this shit? I'm like,
I know. It's
literally,
a lot.
that's
It's a
literally
lot.
what it is. But
It's
I'm
a
like,
lot.
people don't want to do the work.
No.
They want to charge you something and then disappear. And
Or
that's-
they'll take the cheaper route and they'll screw themselves over.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody, like we always say, everybody always thinks that things fall off your credit after 7 years. It's 7 years and 6 months from the last payment made. So if you unknowingly call them and you're like, hey, you know, I want to maybe settle, they already have you on a recorded line verifying your number, your name, your address, your social. And it's like you just reset the timeline because you didn't want to pay an expert who was going to make them verify or validate the debt that you have on there when you never signed an agreement with them in the first place. So sometimes going the cheaper route takes you further away from the destination.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Yeah, look, and then we normally end our segments, Giano, with a rapid fire hustle round. So if you're game, I'm gonna shoot you some questions, and I would love some quick answers. Is that game? Are you down?
Let's do it.
All right, let's run it. All right. So what's your go-to sales closing technique?
Oh, Miller Hyman Group.
Nice.
Right? I keep a slip that I got like 7 years ago. I keep it with me. It's like a Bible. Miller Hyman Group. Very good, big time corporate,
Yeah. I've
sales
taken
company. And Card on You, man. Relentlessly. It's incredible.
So everybody hearing that, like, we'll post the links.
Yeah,
in
Miller
the
Hyman
description.
Group, Card on You. Get it.
All right. So what's one mindset hack that keeps you sharp?
Oh, man. Honestly, the gym.
Perf.
The gym.
That's really
Because
good.
it's the mindset behind it. Waking up, beating the first goal, getting my ass up at 5:30 to be at the gym. That's goal one.
Yeah.
When I finish the workout, that's goal two already by 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you have 2 checks already.
Okay, so it starts there, but you know, the prayer, the mindset, the journaling, all that, it's in that first 3 hours of the day, you know, so you can have that strong mindset. But yeah, the gym, man, I'm big on that.
That's awesome.
It builds a lot of character.
And what's the biggest lesson you learned in 2024?
Holy shit. Oh,
We're going
man.
in it.
Yeah, we really are. You know, honestly, what really defines the word growth, you know, what growth it is embracing the suck, doing things that you don't want to do, overcoming obstacles that you think you couldn't have done, going through shit alone, disappearing for 6 months, no bullshit, no sex, no nothing. And it really works, especially for your manhood, for us men that want to be savages during the day and gentlemen by night. Those things really help me out. So the word growth has really put me in a different mindset, and it's scary. It's scary, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. If you could give one piece of advice to a new entrepreneur watching the show, what would it be?
Oh, like what I was raving up before, get in sales, find a great corporate job, start somewhere, get out of college, go to Comcast, go to Coca-Cola, go to Apple, go to Tesla. They have the top-notch training programs, Grant Cardone Ventures. Get yourself in a sales room, get yourself a good sales trainer, learn.
Get some experience.
Yeah, get the experience, man. Learn, you know, and be on calls with somebody, shadow somebody, hear somebody coach you. Learn. You're gonna learn so much. Get into sales.
Awesome. If you didn't get that, please, he's going to make sure it's get into sales. What's the best investment you've ever made yourself?
Like on a purchase or within?
It could be a physical item or
Honestly,
personal?
mentorship. I was
that's
on a
good.
contract with a big mentor that we both know. And when they say find a mentor and work for them for free, and really put your manhood and your ego and your pride aside, that shit's real. Because it taught me so many things in the game.
Yeah.
Following him, being around him, get yourself a mentor or a mentorship program, or like the Jordan Belfort sales program, the Bob Proctor leadership development program, rest his soul. Those are things that are going to teach you, those different ways of life to, get you through those times.
That's awesome. Well, look, again, Giano, that was next level energy. That was next level input, mindset. I know a lot of folks who are watching this are going to want to probably replay this and share it with folks because you've shared some really good nuggets. And for anybody who wants to connect with Giano, I'm going to post the link to his socials, his business, and how to get in contact with him in the description below. And again, if it's the first time you're watching this, please hit the like and subscribe button. Giano, thank you for joining us today. This has been an amazing episode, and I look forward to you keeping that energy up and then helping others and also helping your clients continue to scale in 2025, brother. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.
Peace, guys.